What's up, everybody? Kev Grit is back, and today I have a new video. But today is not just an everyday, normal home arcade video. Today I'm bringing you something personal from my life, something that I feel like people might want to hear. People might want to listen to this in case they're on the fence about doing what I did. And what I'm talking about is back in January of 2022, so 8 months ago. I decided that I needed to make a change in my life. And I needed to make a change in my life because I was getting unhealthy and I was gaining a lot of weight. And this weight was due to COVID, sitting around, eating uncontrollably, not staying in my routine that I used to do when I used to go to work every day, leave at 5 a.m., have lunch at noon, come home at 5, rinse and repeat. And that kept me on a schedule and kept me honest as far as my weight goes. So my wife was going through the same process. We both were working from home through 2020, through most of 2021, and we would just snack, we would just nibble, we would just eat all hours of the day and night. And then you don't know what's happening, and the next thing you know, you're like, I don't feel good. I don't have any energy. What are we going to do? So around November of 2021, my wife and I had some serious talks about what are we going to do? How are we going to conquer this and get healthy? So we did some research. We've done numerous diets, like many of you out there. And there's a couple of diets we haven't tried. So we stumbled upon the keto diet. I know everybody has heard about the keto diet. I know everyone is aware of it, but I'm just going to kind of bring you my experiences with this keto diet because that's the diet that my wife and I has kind of set on back in October that we wanted to do. So we did research throughout October, November, and December, and we wanted to find out more of what this keto diet is. And in case you're unaware of what the keto diet is, it's basically a term for a uh, low carb diet, basically a modified Atkins. And the idea is that you're going to get your daily calories from protein and fat and less from carbohydrates. We're going to cut back on the carbs that are easy to digest, like sugar, soda, pastries, white bread, all the stuff that you like, all the stuff that is yummy. We are not going to have it anymore. So that's what the basics of what my wife and I were looking into of what this ketogenic is. But let's further define like what a carbohydrate is. So a carbohydrate are basically sugar molecules, but it has proteins and fats. And it's one of the three main nutrients that you pretty much eat in everything. And your body kind of needs these to break down, and it breaks it down into glucose, or blood sugar. It's the main source of energy for your body cells, tissues, and organs. Glucose can be used immediately or stored in the liver for later use. So that's what carbohydrates are. So now, if you go back to what I described that we're doing for carbohydrates, we're basically restricting carbs. We're taking away those carbs and we're going to replace them with fat. So basically, now we are going to change our body's philosophy and we are no longer going to rely on carbohydrates for energy. So that goes against the basic science of dieting. Basically, carbs is what runs your car. It keeps your body going, but this diet says we're not going to do that. So how do you do that? Well, you go into a state of ketosis. And basically, what you're trying to do is you're trying to eliminate as many carbs as you can from your diet and replace it with fat. Yes, you are now telling your body that that ketosis is the process that you're going to live by, and you're going to live by fat. So foods like steak, poultry, sausage, hamburger, bacon, all that stuff has fat in it, high fat content. And so we're going to tell the body that this is all you have to work with. And you are going to use this for energy now instead of carbs, instead of bread, instead of all the other stuff that we've used to do in our life. So when you do that, you put your body in a state of ketosis. And putting your body in a state of ketosis, it's a process that when your body doesn't have enough carbs, it's reaching out to find these carbohydrates, but it doesn't have it anymore. So now it has to take what you've given it, and you've given it fat. You've given it burger, sausage, eggs, proteins, and now it's going to use that for fuel. And in doing that, you've now pared down your diet, you've pared down your foods that don't have carbohydrates. So, what does that mean? So, before we go into the next step, I just wanted to show you that um, that was the research that my wife and I have done, and that was around December of 2021. And this is what I look like as of 2021. That is my body. That's before I started this journey. This very first video was published on my YouTube channel probably December 30th or December 31st, right around the start of the year. And if you can see here, I have the face of a tire. I have the face of a donut, very round. And you don't know you get like this. You don't know that you're out of control here because you're not, you're just home, you're working, you're eating, you're doing your thing. But it's not until you look back that you see what you've become. So this was my very first video. And this is what I look like on 12/31 roughly of 2021. And now this is what I look like as of August 7th. I'm filming this. And it has been a 7-month journey. And what happened was we committed to doing this, my wife and I. And on the last week of December, we went in our cupboards and our cabinets, and any food that was open in our house, we threw it out. Everything. We left nothing in our house that was opened. Anything that was unopened, we took to a shelter and donated. So now our house was completely empty. Nothing in there that could hurt us as far as the carbs, that could hurt us as far as what we needed to do to succeed. So that was 12/31, maybe the first or second of the year, whenever we could have, leave to get out for the new year when things were closed. We went to Sam's. And at Sam's, we loaded up everything that was approved on the keto diet. We're talking bacon, eggs, sausage, hamburgers, seafood. My wife's a big seafood fan. Anything that would set us up for success is now in our house. We eliminated everything. So that's the first step that I would advise anyone who's doing this diet and who's interested in losing weight on the keto diet. Basically, take it out. If it's not approved on the keto diet, get it out of your house, get the temptations gone. So that was a very, very, very good first step for my wife and I. The next thing is basically sticking to the diet. And I just wanted to show something else here about how the diet actually works. So now that you know you want to do ketosis or you want to do dieting and you want to get into a state of ketosis, and let's talk about that for a minute, because the term ketosis is not just a definition, it's actually a state that you put your body in. So you can actually measure ketosis. And what you have to do is you have to measure if you're in ketosis because you want to see if this diet is working for you. So there's strips out there that you can purchase, and you just urinate on the strips and it turns a certain color. And if that color matches the vial color, you are officially in ketosis. Your body's 100% running on fat. Congratulations, you're in ketosis. Now the fun begins and you should start losing weight. But how do you get in ketosis? How do you know what you're doing is working? Well, the very basic blocks of ketosis is your meats, your bacons, your sausages, your seafood, all that stuff is basically free. You don't have to count any of those carbs. You can basically eat as much as you want. Pork chops, all that stuff. But you can have other things on this diet. You can have ice cream, you can have snacks. It's out there. It's all made already for you. So what you want to do is another building block of another step to doing, keto and being successful is you have to know how to understand how to read the diet. So if you're out in a store and you're purchasing items, every item has a nutrition label. Ignore all these labels here. I just want to focus on three things here, and it's the carbohydrate line of this food label. And if you notice, it says carbohydrates 34. So how this works is you take your 34, which is your total carbohydrates, and you subtract anything that's fiber and your sugars. So what you want to do is you take your 34 and you minus 4 and you minus 6. So now you have 24 carbs. Now, on a typical keto diet, most people fluctuate between 30 and 50 a day. My wife and I started with 20 a day, and we basically kind of have been staying at that 20. We should probably start expanding it. But for the sake of this example, you have 34 minus 4 minus 6. So that's 34 minus 4 is 30, minus 6 is 24. So to me, this is 24 carbs a serving for whatever this is. I don't even know what this is. I just grabbed it. To me, you don't want this. This is not something that you want to eat because it's too many carbs. So you want to find something else that's going to work. And what you're going to find is there are a million foods that do not work on this diet. Talking foods such as bread, soda, beer, wine, candy, pasta, pizza, most fruits, potatoes, and starches, and most sit down restaurants and takeout. Yes, literally everything that you love is not going to work on this diet. But what does work? Meat, sausage, eggs, hamburger, steak, fish, crab, shrimp, tuna, pork, all the basic, barbarian type foods that are basically free on this diet will kind of work for you. So that's basically the gist of what this diet is. Now, I am not a doctor. I do not recommend just starting this diet. I did get a checkup before starting this diet, probably November. I had to get a checkup for my health insurance, and I was given the all clear sign. So take what I say here as just a guide, not an absolute. And if you have any questions, let me know, and I will walk you through anything that I can. So, all that out of the way, what is a typical day? What is my journey like for the last 8 months on doing this? My wife and I have both hit the 50-pound mark. We have lost collectively 100 pounds of weight since January 1st, 2022. That is it's insane to me that we both started this journey together and we both found success on it. So that success has come with stumbling, has come with roadblocks, and it has come with also celebratory landmarks, because you don't get the 50 pounds without fighting through and getting there. So I just want to talk about my typical day on keto in case you're wondering, how am I going to go about this? If you're interested in keto, what is your day going to be like? So on a typical day, I wake up, get my shower, and now it's time for breakfast. And I basically start with my coffee and eggs or sausage or some type of bar that's formulated for keto. So that could be a protein bar, an Atkins bar, a little tiny bar that's like 2 or 3 points. And that's how I get my day started. Now, my wife enjoys waffles, and they have keto waffles. And she found a brand that she likes, and she has her coffee. Coffee's good on keto. And then she has her waffles. So that's mainly my breakfast. And then when lunch comes, I have a chicken breast and salad. And I cut my chicken breast up and I have my salad. Boom, there's my lunch. Not too much unlike what most people do today. They have their coffee, they have some type of waffles or eggs. So that's not too far off the mark than what most people do. Now, when dinner comes, barbecuing is great right now on the East Coast. I'm in New Jersey. So I've been barbecuing hamburgers, pork. We do roast in the crock pot. We do chili with keto kidney beans. Not unlike what most people do. So that's basically what we've been doing. We've also followed websites for keto hacks where you take normal foods and transform it. Like we found the recipe for something called pepperoni cups. and you basically take pepperoni and line a cookie pan or line like a muffin pan, and you put cheese in the middle, and it melts, and boom, it just tastes like pizza. So there are plenty of support groups out there when it comes time that if you want to make this leap into the keto world that can help you. So you're not alone. Now comes the, bad part of keto, because you do have to go. I know people, I just said you're not alone. You can get support group, but here's the drawbacks of keto. When you're doing this, and hopefully you're doing this with a partner, because you need most people in your house to be on board with this. If you have a family of 4, the keto diet might not be for you, but it's just my wife and I. So now we've teamed up. We both signed off on it, and it's much easier to have someone next to you supporting your endeavor with this. And so basically, eating out is pretty much off the table. You cannot go out and socially eat anymore. For example, name a restaurant you like, whether it be Outback. Can't have the bread, can't have most of the food on there except for steaks, which means you also can't have your potato. You know, you can't have regular soda. So it's very limiting when you start to, if you have friends and you go out drinking, can't have alcohol on this diet. It's just not good. There's like 46 carbs in a can of beer. That's 3 days of eating. You can't do it. So there are challenges and hurdles. So if you do want to go out, my wife and I go to Salad Works. Salads are perfectly acceptable. We go to Chick-fil-A and get their salad and a side of grilled nuggets, perfectly acceptable. We also go to I'm trying to think of other places that we go to. We go to Missions Barbecue and get a platter with no bread, and we can have the brisket. So there are places you can go to, but for the most part, especially in the beginning, you do not want to go out. You want to stay in, you want to cook, you want to follow the exact keto guidelines to get you going. So that being said, what happened when I started doing this diet with my wife? So I mentioned ketosis earlier, and basically I had to get my body into ketosis. And that took a week or so to get my body from taking all the carbs that I was using for my fuel and replace it with fat. So it took about a week or two to get in that state. And once I got into that state, I was happy because I wasn't seeing the weight come off, as fast as I would like because I wasn't in ketosis. Once I got into ketosis, the weight started to come off in bunches. So I was 203 pounds when I showed you that picture a few minutes ago, maybe 205, maybe more. I'm a short guy, so 205 pounds on a guy that's 5'6" is not good. I can't carry it well. So I went from 205, and then through the weeks, as you stick to this, see, here's something too, and this is real. When you start doing this diet, the cravings go away. So Mike and Ike's, snacking, pizza, McNuggets, you don't want them. And I can't explain it till you start doing it for yourself. But if you were to put a thing of chicken McNuggets in front of me, I would go, I don't really want it. Whereas before, I would eat 20 to 30 of them in a sitting, no doubt, because nuggets are amazing. But on this diet, when you get in perfectly balanced and you get in ketosis, there's just no cravings. So it's just very unusual to tell people when they go, "Oh, you're how can you do this? You want pizza, you want hamburgers." Well, yeah, no, I can have hamburgers, but I don't want the pizza and I don't want anything that's bad. I used to eat a box of Mike and Ike's for a snack every night at 9 o'clock. Well, that's gone. So it's very different now. So that's a change when I started doing this diet. I would, in the old days, eat dinner, take a nap because I was tired from a long day at work, get up, get a snack, and then drink some soda, and then sit around and go to bed. That's not what's happening now. Now I have dinner, I have energy, I don't nap as much, and I'm going to bed and I'm fasting at 10 o'clock. I don't eat or drink anything, and then I go to bed. So when I started doing that and I got my body into a state of ketosis, the weight just started going crazy. I went from 205, 200, 190, 185, 170, 175, 165, 160. Now today, I'm at 155, which is the lowest weight I've ever been at since probably birth. I'm almost at the official government height weight chart that was invented in the 40s. It is insane. It is insane. I have gone 6 to 7 inches off my waistline. I am down to a size 30 on some of my clothes. My face has now gone from that fat donut tire shape that you've seen to a very, chiseled line that's more respectable. And it is all because of this diet. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm at a point now where I have to start putting fats back in my diet and carbs, a little more carbs. So I'm reevaluating what I'm doing right now because I hit 50 pounds. I don't have to lose much more. So I'm going to a doctor shortly. I'm scheduling an appointment. I want to talk to him about the milestone that I've hit, which is the 50 pounds. And now I want to go to the next step, which is getting more, maybe a little more carbs in my diet. Uh, and just get a checkup. Make sure my cholesterol is fine. Make sure my blood pressure is fine. Because losing 50 pounds in 5 or 6 months, 7 months when I did, I just want to see what effect it has on my body. I feel great. I think I look better. And if you start doing this diet, I also recommend get a doctor sign off before you start this diet. If you start feeling bad on the diet, stop it, see a doctor. But if you get to a point where you're losing 50, 40, 50 pounds, just get a regular checkup and see what the next step is. I never thought that in 6 months I would hit my goal. Now, I'm not going to say that there weren't stumbling blocks or givens along the way. So, for example, my wife and I, we celebrated our anniversary and we went off our diet. We had pizza. We had foods that you wouldn't have on the diet. But so what? You're going to have those givens. You're going to have those times where you just want a pizza, and that's okay. The the opportunity is you have your pizza, tastes great, and the next day you go right back on your diet. So we've done that a couple times over the last 6 months. Nothing significant more than a day or so where we just want a pizza, we just want some bread, and then we just move on. So, I even losing these 50 pounds, I did it with having maybe a couple meals here and there that weren't approved by keto because you're just normal, you're human. And if you do cheat or go off your diet, it's not the end of the world. Get back on it the next day. There's also so many support groups out there like Reddit, YouTube videos, myself. If you need help or if you're struggling, you could just reach out to any of those avenues and they'll help you get back on it. The key is to say you want to do it, to say that you've had enough. And when you hit rock bottom and you see a picture like I just showed you of my donut face, look like Mount Rushmore, you know, that's when you start to realize you need to make a change in your life. So if you're at that point and you want to make a change, maybe this video helped you decide if you wanted to start this and try this. Maybe not. You know, I was really going back and forth on making this video. It's not a typical video game video or home arcade video, but this is something for me. I wanted to put something down that like signified what I accomplished over the last 6 months. This is absolutely insane that I have been able to accomplish a 50-pound weight loss in 7 months. And I hope that I can just maintain it through the end of the year and just keep going. I don't have uh, any qualms about stopping this. I know people will say, once you stop this, you're going to gain the weight back. Yes, but this is a lifestyle now. I am not stopping this diet unless the doctor tells me something's going on. You know, I don't like to say I'm on a diet. I've changed my life, I've changed my lifestyle. So I think that's much different than saying, oh, I'm on a diet. I hit the 50-pound mark. I'm done. Bring on the pasta. Bring on the Mike and Ike's and peanut cheese. No, I am not doing that. And as long as my wife is right there with me and fighting the good battle and you have a support team, there's no reason to stop. So I know I went on a little bit. I hope everybody found something in this video. I am going to make another video today that'll be video game related. So if you didn't like this video, I understand. This was completely off brand for me, but I just wanted to give, an update on my success and my challenges of losing weight over the last 6, 7 months. So tell me, below, what did you think of this video? Do you like these off topics? Do you like me bringing some things that you might not know about me into these videos? It's one of my longer videos, so I apologize. But I will be back with a new video today or tomorrow about video games. So thank you, everybody. If you made it through this far, I appreciate it. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.